An arbitrary decision of one country, one political leader can change the existence of whole world and turn it into ashes in a few moments. We do not need to be reminded of this as we have suffered from the unpleasant experience of two world wars since the past. But did you know that the patience of one silent hero saved the world from World War III? He's a Vasili Arkhipov. So today's video is dedicated to sharing information about him with you. Stay with us. This is the Daily Quiz. At the bottom of the deep ocean, three naval officers in a submarine are in a very intense debate. The seawater in October is always cold, especially in the North Arctic Ocean. In the deep Atlantic Ocean, the sea is very cold at this time. At the bottom of this cold ocean, not one, but four B-59 submarines are very alert and secretly moving very close to the United States of America. These submarines come from an unknown naval base belonging to Soviet Russia in the North Arctic Sea. Not only that, except for one person, no one knows their destination and what these submarines are carrying. They were told that when the time comes, you will be told where to go and that you should go on the route that has been notified until then. On the other hand, these submarines receive instruction directly from the Kremlin. Everyone knew that this was a very dangerous journey. The leader or captain of all these vessels were assigned responsibility. That is the responsibility of attacking immediately without waiting for orders in any emergency situation. All of these submarines have nuclear-powered torpedoes. If there is a military conflict, it can be attacked with that weapon with the agreement of three officers. What is this torpedo? Let's simply understand that a torpedo is a missile that can attack other submarines and ships from underwater. But the nuclear power of these torpedoes is as powerful and destructive as the nuclear bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan during the Second World War. Then, who are the three officers who decide to attack with this nuclear torpedo? That is the Chief Naval Officer or Chief of Staff, the commanding officer of the respective submarine and the officer representing the government. This kind of responsibility is not easy for even an experienced naval officer. These people have traveled more than 7,000 miles to get closer to the United States. The year is 1962, the month is October. Cuba is their destination. Their job is to locate missiles in Cuba that can attack the United States of America. Why is that? The reason for that is that Cuba became a socialist government with the Cuban Revolution in 1959. With this revolution, Cuba became a friend of the Soviet Republic and enemy of the United States of America. Cuba is located about 400 miles from America. That means that America can be very easily attacked and destroyed by missiles from Cuba. At that time, the American president was John F. Kennedy. This gentleman decides to attack Cuba. The reason is that he received advice from his advisory board that living with this communist neighbor is not easy. However, in April 1961, the Americans retreated in a very unsuccessful attempt. This is what Operation Pig Bay is called. With this failed attack, Cuba and Soviet Russia understand that the Americans will invade Cuba at any time. It is to avoid this invasion that the Soviets decided to station their nuclear missiles on Cuban land. Now we know why these 4 submarines are coming to the Atlantic Ocean from so far away. Why does Soviet Russia give political and security protection to Cuba, which is 9,000 kilometers away from them? That is world politics. That is the power struggle of the world. This is how the Americans placed missiles in Turkey targeting the Soviet Union. The Americans are very careful about the sea around Cuba. The American naval vessels that are engaged in patrol duties in the sea between Cuba and America get to know that a strange radio signal exchange is happening in their region. These people suspected that submarines are moving under their ships. What are these people doing? They are throwing depth charges into the sea. A depth charger is a type of a bomb that is dropped into the depths of the sea, especially designed to attack submarines. What will happen now? Submarines under the sea are facing a very serious danger. They go deep to the bottom of the sea to escape the depth charges. Because of this reason, the exchange of messages with the Kremlin is stuck. It is at this time that the captain of the submarine, who is the chief of staff or the commanding officer of the group, decides that these American ships should be destroyed by attacking with nuclear torpedoes. We now know that 2 more people need to approve that decision. Even if the government officials approve this decision, the commanding officer of the group does not like this. The commanding officer of the group is Admiral Vasili Arkhipov. Arkhipov is a very talented officer. Although he is a little younger than other officers, his image is very powerful due to the skills he has shown before. But the 2 other officers argue that they should attack immediately. Vasili Arkhipov knows very well that even if he can destroy American vessels at the push of a button, this button is the beginning of the Third World War. Not only that, this is the start in a nuclear war. It may be the end of man. He says that we should be more patient. We should consult the Kremlin as soon as we get a chance. This is the argument of 3 officers of the Cold Sea. Several crucial minutes pass. Depth charges or bomb attacks are gradually decreasing, but these people are not able to stay in great depth for a long time. When the submarine soldiers get tired from the extreme heat, these vessels finally come to the surface of the sea and leave for Soviet Russia once again, luckily for the whole world. Some reports state that the US Navy allowed the Soviet ships to return. As soon as they go back to their country, these people are called to the Kremlin. Disciplinary investigations are conducted separately for these officials with strong accusations. Arkhipov has to face endless trials instead of award and praise for preventing the destruction of the world. In particular, Vasili Arkhipov was punished for disobeying instructions and orders. Soviet officials tells the world that 4 diesel submarines went a training trip to Cuba. But in 2002, a retired Soviet admiral revealed to the world what really happened in a major press conference. Robert McNamara, who was the Defense Secretary of United States at that time, said, "We were 1 centimeter away from the destruction of the world." Vasili Arkhipov, who prevented that destruction, should receive the love and respect of the whole world. Arkhipov, who continued to serve after 1962 incident, continued to serve in the Navy until 80s. He did not get the respect he deserved from the world until he died on August 19, 1988. But as an army officer, he never mentioned anything about it. Born in a poor farming family in 1926, Vasili died of lung and kidney cancer due to his long service in nuclear submarines and the accident he faced in 1961. After that, his wife said, "I didn't know that Vasili saved the world. He only said that he got a small punishment for not doing his duty properly. That's his way." Everyone knows Vasili Arkhipov as a very quiet and polite person. If the Kremlin could call this submarine back then, if Vasili had agreed to launch a torpedo attack, neither you nor I would be alive. As then and today, we are very close to detonating button of that nuclear bomb. Why do people with power tolerate? It is because there are few people left like Vasili who can think among stupid politicians. We are currently saved from a devastating world war because there are only a few officials, leaders, who understand that the world can be turned into ashes with one stupid